Hello, and welcome to Under 1000. My name's Thomas Flower, and each episode I'll read you a new piece of flash fiction. All of the stories are 1000 words or less. Today, I'll be reading Thoughts of You. I heard a song today. A song I'd never heard before, but which I felt like was burned into my bones somewhere deeply primal and instinctual. I don't know why it made me think of you, but it did. It sounded like that time when we drove in your car together, went to your friend's gig, slept on someone's couch, ate chips for breakfast, and drove home feeling like we'd somehow had the coolest weekend anyone could have. We were stupid and wrong, but that belief was beautiful and pure at least. This song now resonates in that memory, although at the time it didn't even exist. I've implanted it as the soundtrack that played on the radio as we drove on the motorway. I'm writing the movie version of my own memories, perfecting them and upgrading them, with artifacts from the future that make them pop, shine, and sing just a little more. I don't know why. It happens like instinct. I long so deeply for that time, sitting here alone. I don't know where you are anymore, or what you're doing now. I wonder if you ever think of it, like I do. I felt so lucky to be with you, to know you, to run with you for one night like we were a gang that would never be parted. Did you ever feel the same? Maybe so, maybe not. Now we're scattered to different corners of the country. I can still reach you if I need to, but it hardly feels the same anymore. Our friendship still exists, but that era of it is over. There's no going back, and yet I want to wallow in the longing for it for just a few moments more. Of course, we could still have something new. Maybe we will reconnect, form new bonds around our still present mutuality, but it can't be the same. It might be better, but never the same. Time has moved on and pushed us forward with it. We're no longer starry-eyed and new, full of excited trepidation at living a life we didn't think we were allowed to. But in truth, what I want is not you exactly, or that time or space or event. It's me that I long for. It's my poor memory of my own feelings and a false belief that back then I was once free, that my life stretched out before me and that it was full of possibility, new excitement and wonder. Of course, it's a falsehood, of course, but it's still an exciting one. And what I always forget, when making this movie magic of my own memories, is that back then I was just as stressed out and wild and unhappy as I am now. The night I cherished dearly would surely have been followed up by time spent alone, feeling sad, pining after people who didn't love me back, crying, stress-eating, being ill, wanting impossible things. But from my vantage here in the future, I can run a hand over those blemishes and wave them away. I allow myself to cherry-pick only the best bits, and to assume that if this montage of beautiful shining images was my younger self, then my younger self must have been having a better, happier, more exciting life than I do now. It is me that I long for, but a me that never truly existed, made only of clippings and pig-headed wishes. And so, I suppose, I will go forward, constructing my beautiful memories which I can polish and improve to within an inch of the truth, creating stories for myself, for which I can feel sorry when my own life refuses to match. What is the purpose of such a wait? But I heard a song, and I think, though maybe I'm wrong, but I think that if I'd played it for you back then, you would have smiled, turned it up, sparked a conversation. I think it would have brought you a little joy, as it brings me now. And I wish I could parcel it up and send it back to you then, to see you smile and hear what you would say about it. And so maybe it's you that I miss too, not only myself. But isn't that person also a construction? Someone I made up and made myself happy with? I remember you were also depressed and weighed down by the world back then. And who am I to demand you return there, all because I like stupid conversations we had in the car while driving from place to place? It's the demand of a petulant egotist. Perhaps that's all my memories will be. Demands I place on myself and wish to place on others, for us to eternally be something that we only ever were for a moment. The looping vision plays in my head, demanding the feeling be bottled, ready to be opened and sipped whenever I want. But life doesn't work that way. And while I wallow in this nostalgic melancholy, I ignore the ways in which I could have moments like that now. And they're different, yes, but that doesn't mean I should discard the possibility. My fervent, erratic brain demands that I remake a scene of you and I driving together at 21. An impossibility. But maybe I can remake the feeling, around a dinner table with friends, or sat at a bar together at some stupid time in the morning, or even just gathered round the oven to cook with those I cherish and hold dear. And so the song ends. And I'm still thinking of you. But I know that the person I'm thinking of is gone. You're still out there, but you're not the same. None of us are, as much as we sometimes want to be. And so I try to move on, to go out and make something else instead, with a beautiful new soundtrack. Thank you for listening to Under 1000. I'm your host, Thomas Flower. To follow the show online, look for Under 1000 Pod on Twitter or Facebook. If you'd like to support the show on Patreon, go to patreon.com/under1000pod, where you can sign up to read each month's stories in advance, as well as to have a thank you be read during these credits. The theme music is an instrumental version of In Between Days by Nick Tate and the Sharks. To hear the full song and more from the same EP, go to Nick Tate, NICTATE, and thesharks.bandcamp.com, or search for them on your favourite streaming platform. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and that you'll join me again next time for some more super short fiction.